This is the largest residential community in Asia, covering around 4 million square meters, with a permanent population of over 500,000, more than the entire population of Iceland. The complex has more than 300 buildings, each around 40 stories tall. Because there are so many buildings, the areas are simply named with letters B, C, D, and eventually they reach Zone X, almost using up the entire English alphabet. From a drone's perspective, it doesn't look like a residential complex at all. It looks more like a small city made of high-rise buildings. The neighborhood has 3 middle schools, 5 elementary schools, and 6 community health service centers. Pretty much functions as a fully equipped mini-city. If you were born here, you could go to school, work, retire, and grow old, all within this one community. Yes, it's that wild. Welcome to Huaguoyan Community, located in Gyeang City, Guizhou Province. When I first arrived at Huaguoyan, I didn't think it was anything special. Looking at the tall buildings around me, I thought, this isn't that big of a deal. The buildings are just taller and more packed together. Nothing like what people on the internet were saying. But when I got to the rooftop and launched my drone, I finally understood what it meant to be one of the largest residential areas in Asia. Every single high-rise building captured by the drone belonged to Huaguoyan. These buildings stand shoulder to shoulder, and from the sky, they look like giant concrete pillars rising from the ground. The buildings are packed so tightly, a fly would have to pay a toll to pass through. A quick heads up. If you have trypophobia, you might want to close your eyes here. The visual impact of thousands of windows stacked so densely is truly overwhelming. Combined with Guizhou's famously cloudy skies and rugged terrain, the view looks like a surreal floating city nestled in the mountains and mist. Only by seeing Huaguoyan with your own eyes can you grasp the limits of architectural imagination. These densely packed towers also explain the massive population. The entire city of Gyeang has about 6.6 million residents, and Huaguoyan alone is home to over 500,000. That means roughly 1 out of every 13 people in the city lives here. If you only count the urban population, Huaguoyan makes up about 1/10 of it. In Nanming District, where Huaguoyan is located, the total population is about 1.047 million, meaning this one community holds nearly half of the district's population. If you're dating someone in Nanming, there's a good chance your ex's ex, and even your ex's ex all live in the same neighborhood. Somewhere, the ultimate player sheds a tear. But with so many people and such dense construction, traffic here is a serious issue. During rush hour, cars crawl along, bumper to bumper. If you try to hail a cab to Huaguoyan during peak times, don't be surprised if no drivers accept the ride. It's just that congested. In that case, a second-hand electric scooter might be your best bet for getting around. That said, if you don't drive and stick to public transit, Huaguoyan is actually super convenient. 3 metro lines pass through the area. In fact, there may not be another residential complex in China with 3 subway stations inside it. On top of that, there are 31 bus lines running through Huaguoyan. When it comes to public transit, this place is maxed out. Other communities compete on landscaping, Huaguoyan competes on transportation. Still, when it's time for a traffic jam, there's no escaping it. So you might be wondering, why do so many people want to visit Huaguoyan anyway? Well, a lot of people don't realize that it's not just apartments here. There's also plenty to eat, see, and do. For example, there's the Huaguoyan Shopping Center, the White House Twin Towers, the Wetland Park, and Dolphin Plaza. All popular landmarks and trendy hangout spots in Gyeang. Whether you're in the mood for food or some casual sightseeing, this place has you covered. To be fair, though, the architectural style here is kind of chaotic in a fun way. It's all about freestyle mixing. You've got Western-style White House buildings, ultramodern twin towers, Han and Tang-inspired traditional Chinese zones like Huaguoyan Area N, and European-style neighborhoods like Gyeang Street West. If it looks confusing, that's the point. That's fashion. And at night, the huge square dancing events at Century Park are quite a spectacle. Unfortunately, when I visited, it rained non-stop classic Guizhou weather. Overall, when it comes to eating, drinking, and having fun in Huaguoyan, there's absolutely no problem. One detail I noticed is that there are a lot of young people living here. While chatting with shop owners in Huaguoyan over a few days, I learned that many residents are originally from smaller cities or nearby towns in Guizhou Province. Since there are plenty of apartments here and prices are low, it naturally became the first stop for many people trying to make a life in Gyeang. For them, just having a place to settle down is already a big deal. They need a cozy spot that won't laugh at their dreams. And here, they have over 300 silent listeners. In a way, this is a mutual embrace between Huaguoyan and its residents. Next, I'll take you inside Wagwoyen to see what it's really like. First thing that jumps out, the elevator floor numbers are novel-worthy. From basement level 3 all the way up to the 42nd floor, 45 floors in total. You could probably finish writing your thesis in the time it takes to write it. So here's the question. Would you dare to live above the 40th floor? We checked out a one-bedroom apartment. The decor is pretty basic, a couch, a coffee table, a vanity, and a TV. The kitchen area is tucked into a corner, but it's fully equipped with a fridge, range hood, induction cooker, and sink. In the bedroom, there's a bed and a wardrobe, and further inside, a bathroom with a washing machine next to the toilet. Everything's packed so tightly that even cockroaches might feel cramped. After touring a few of these apartments, I started to understand how Wagwoyen manages to hold over 500,000 people. Many of these homes are partitioned rentals, one apartment turned into 3. No wonder the population is so high. I also noticed the walls aren't very soundproof. At night you can hear some pretty indescribable noises. Yeah, I wasn't ready either. According to a rental agent, most apartments here are indeed divided up like this. Rent varies widely, from about $50 to $300 per month. More unpredictable than a player's love life. That's because the dozens of zones like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. are scattered far apart. If you're closer to the business center, the rent is high. Farther out, it's cheaper. You might wonder, with so many people living here, is daily life inconvenient? Will it be hard to find food? After checking it out myself, I'd say daily needs are well covered. Shopping, groceries, restaurants, all very accessible. It's about as hard to go hungry here as it is to find a cafeteria worker who doesn't shake the spoon. Every building has a circle of shops on the ground floor. Small restaurants, breakfast places, convenience stores, they're everywhere. Larger markets, restaurants, pharmacies, and other daily essentials are evenly spread between the towers. On foot, anything you need is about a 10-minute walk away. Even better, each building has a package pickup point. Sending or receiving deliveries is super easy. Your delivery guy might even live next door. Eating out is also very affordable. For example, skewers cost about 10 cents each. One fancy meal in Beijing, Shanghai, or Guangzhou could buy you 2 months' worth of barbecue here. A regular bowl of noodles or rice in a small eatery costs around $2 to $2.50. And every afternoon, between the buildings, new vendors pop up like NPCs. I have no idea where they roll their carts out from. The food tastes great and is cheap. On average, you can eat your fill for about $1.50. Let me put it this way, if you're trying to lose weight, don't come here. I gained over 10 pounds in just a week. Back to the main point. Wagwoyen has over 20,000 shops and averages a jaw-dropping 1 million visitors per day. If you can't imagine what 20,000 businesses look like, think of this, even the food delivery guys here have actual GPS navigation certificates. With that many restaurants, Wagwoyen offers cuisine from all over China. Whatever you're craving, you'll probably find it here. But what amazes people most is the housing prices. Back in 2010, the launch price was about $500 per square meter. Today, 15 years later, some listings for second-hand apartments start at just $450, lower than the original price. Even the average is only around $900. For as little as $20,000, you can own an apartment here. The same money in Beijing might not even get you a bathroom. There are more than 5,800 second-hand listings in Wagwoyen alone. More than some entire cities. That gives you an idea of how surreal the real estate market is here. On the bright side, at least we know the housing bubble here is minimal. All in all, after spending a few days exploring, I'd describe Wagwoyen with 2 words: big and complete. It's big in size, and complete in terms of services and daily living needs. Honestly, you could live here for years without ever leaving the complex. From birth to burial, everything's taken care of. If we played hide and seek here as kids, we'd probably still be hiding. Of course, not everything is perfect. There are definitely areas that could be improved. But overall, the pros outweigh the cons. If you're looking for a vibrant, conversation-worthy city spot to live temporarily, Wagwoyen is definitely worth a try. You won't experience anything else quite like it.